Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. In our earlier program, we have discussed about certain components and steps of conducting educational research. Specifically, we have discussed about the research problem. We have discussed about review of related literature. In few of our sessions, we have also discussed about the research question. Then the objectives of the study. We have also discussed the hypothesis, how to state the hypothesis, okay, where to state the hypothesis, and in what type of research there is no need of stating any hypothesis. Then we have also discussed the operational definitions of the terms used, means in a research title, the new terms, new technical terms that we have used, or the variables that you have used, how to operationally define it, okay, how that terms will specifically use, what will be the function of those terms in your research, that also we have discussed, you have to define it. Then we have also discussed how to delimit the study, okay. So the title or the research problem that you have undertaken, that is a type of broad problem, you can say. So how to delimit that problem in a researchable form, we have also discussed in some of our video program. Today we have reached at a position that now we can discuss about the research methodology or the design, okay. So today we will discuss about different aspects of research methodology, and today's session will just a type of introduction session. The next what we will be doing, we will discuss one specific methods that we will use in education for conducting educational research. So before discussing different types of methods, let me to focus on what are the different components and things that comes under research methodology, or when you are designing your study. So we can say majorly four components are there that's come under the research methodology. First is the method of the study or design, okay. So what specific method you are going to use in your study, so that is the one of the important component, okay. Whether it is a historical research, whether it is a philosophical research and experimental research, or you can say let it is a survey types of research. So what specific method you are going to follow, you are going to use in your study, that is one of the aspect which come under the research methodology. And the second aspect that you can say in the process of work, that is population and sample, okay. So what is the, you have to define the population, what is the population of your study. Then after defining the population of your study, then again you have to define the sample, okay. What is the size of the sample, and from the population, by using what sampling method or what sampling technique, you have to select an adequate sample. So that the sampling method as well as process of selecting sample from the population, that is also one of the aspect which come under the research methodology. So we will also take certain session to know detail about the population and sample and sampling technique. Then the third aspect or third component that come under the research methodology is tools and techniques of data collection, okay. So in research we will be requiring certain data, okay. So for getting certain data, what techniques and what tools, what instrument we will be using, okay. So it may be a questionnaire, it may be a type of attitude scale, rating scale, or you can say maybe interview, maybe observation schedule, okay. So maybe a checklist. So number of tools are there, keeping in consideration of nature of your study, okay, objectives, research question as well as hypothesis. You have to take a decision that what tools and techniques you will use for collecting data. So that is one of the aspect that's come under the research methodology. And the fourth aspect, that is the statistical techniques to be used to collect analyze data. So what statistics you will be using for analyzing the data? You have already received the data by using the tools and technique. So for analyzing and interpreting that data, you will be using certain statistics. Okay, maybe a descriptive statistics, maybe a very simple statistics. You can say measures of central tendency by using mean, median, or mode, or let you are using standard deviation or average deviation, let you are using correlation or t-test or chi-square test or ANOVA or sign test, any types of test, maybe parametric statistics or non-parametric statistics. So here you have to take a decision, you have to explain, you have to mention in your research that what statistics you will be you will use for analyzing the data. So friends, here under research methodology, 4 aspects that I have already discussed, that is methods of the study, sample and sampling technique, then tools and techniques used, as well as statistical techniques used for data analysis. These 4 aspects come. So what we will do today, we will discuss first about the research method. Okay, so what are the different research method that can be used for conducting educational study, educational research. You see, today's session is just introduction. We are not going to discuss about detail about a particular method. Rather, we will give an insight. We will focus on what are the different types of methods are there that we can practice in conducting educational research. So first, I would say that on the basis of nature of the study. Okay, so you can classify the method of the study on the basis of nature of the study. Keeping in consideration, keeping in view the nature of the study, you can classify the research method. So you can classify the research method like on the basis of nature, that is, you can say philosophical research, or you can say survey research, or experimental method research, or historical research. Okay, so on the basis of nature, research methods can be 4 types: philosophical, survey, experimental, and historical research. So let us try to understand that what are the different types of information, or which type of information that's come under in what type of research. So if you are conducting a philosophical research, so mostly the data or the information that you will get, that is qualitative in nature. Whereas when you are conducting a survey research, the data that you will get, that may be quantitative as well as qualitative in nature. So you will find that some data is quantitative in nature and also some data is qualitative in nature. And when you conduct experimental method, mostly the data that you will get, you can say the data is quantitative in nature. In experimental research, because you are going to do a type of experiment, taking pre-test and post-test on a particular sample by giving certain treatment. So that's why the data that you will get, that data you will get in terms of number. So that's why when exclusively you are getting the data in terms of number, so you can say the information that you will get by using the experimental research is quantitative in nature. And when we conduct the historical research, the information and data that you will get, that is mostly qualitative in nature and less quantitative in nature. So both types of data is possible to get by conducting the historical research, that is qualitative and quantitative, but mostly qualitative and less quantitative. So next we will discuss the specific cases of philosophical research. You see, when we talk about the philosophical research, means your study is based upon to establish or to investigate or to study certain vision. Okay, so vision of what? You can say in education that we practice, that we conduct, we study the contribution of great personalities, great philosophers, great thinkers, great educationists. Okay, you can take Gandhiji's vision on education, and you can say relevance of Gandhiji's craft-centered education in the present education scenario, in the context of present education. So here what you are studying, you are studying the vision of Gandhiji's educational vision towards the present education system. Okay, so accordingly you can take John Dewey, you can take Rousseau, you can take Sri Aurobindo, you can take Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, so you can take Swami Vivekananda. So such type of great personalities can be taken, great educationists can be taken for conducting a philosophical research. Then for conducting a survey research, we conduct survey research to get the present status of the problem. Okay, present status, because the subject, what they will do, they will visit the field, and by using certain tools, maybe questionnaire, maybe interview schedule, they will collect certain data. Okay, maybe on an institution, maybe from the students, maybe from the teachers, maybe from the community members, maybe from the parents, maybe from the educationist. So the data that you will get, that data is having a present relevance. So that's why for conducting a survey research means what we are doing, we are studying the present status of the problem. Okay, the title or the research theme that you have selected in your study. And different types of survey research we can conduct. So we can say we can conduct a descriptive survey research, we can conduct a correlational survey research, we can conduct explorative survey research, and we can also conduct a case study. So descriptive survey research means when we are describing the things by using certain statistics, narratively we are developing certain narratives, and we are describing the things, okay, the present status of any aspect of your problem. Okay, so when we will analyze the data, so descriptively we have to write. So this is a descriptive study. Then correlational study, you will find that many a time in survey types of research you are establishing certain correlation between two variables. Okay, let you have taken one variable is achievement and other variable is self concept, other variable is attitude, other variable is intelligence. So what you are doing, you have stated certain research objectives and hypothesis, and by using these objectives and hypothesis, you are establishing a correlation, whether there is a positive correlation exists between two variables or not. Okay, or what type of relationship exists between two variables. So if your intention, if your objective is to find or is to know the relationship between two variables, then you can say you can conduct a survey research, and specifically that is a correlational types of study, because you are using the statistics correlation, okay, to get the findings of the study, to know the relationship. Then the third type is explorative study. That's also come under the survey research. So many a time you will find that the researcher is going to explore something, okay, going to do something new, means which has not conducted earlier. Okay, means you are not getting any professional literature or any study which has conducted earlier. You are not getting that what type of tools has been used, what is who are the subject of the study, who are the stakeholders. Okay, you are not getting a detailed concept, a detailed principle, a detailed theory on a topic. Still then as a researcher you are motivated to do a type of work. So you can say that is a type of explorative study, means for the first time, or that is you can say that is completely a new study, and you are entering to that study to explore the new things, okay, which is not visible, which has not come to the context, means no one has idea what types of findings you will get by conducting such study. So you can also conduct explorative study, that is also a type of survey research, come under the survey research. Next you can say case study is also a type of survey research, a part of survey research. This is a special types of study, case study. So under case study, what you will do, you have to select a case. That case may be a single individual, maybe a single child, you can say a student, a single unit, okay, an institution, maybe an organization. So what you will do, that case, the case that you will select, that case may be some extent an important case, a specific case, maybe certain importance. Let you are taking a child of differently able, okay, a child of differently able. So what you will do, a differently able child means that child is important, some extent that child is important, because how the child is studying, how the child is doing all his daily works. So you can conduct a type of study, case study. Many a time you can also conduct a case study taking an institute. Okay, let an institute is functioning from last 100 years. So you want to know the cost benefit aspect of the institute and the contribution of the institute towards the society. So here you can also conduct a type of case study. So case study is also a survey types of research. The next we will discuss about the third method, that is the experimental research. So when we conduct experimental research, you see we are studying the future. By conducting the experimental study, what we are doing, we are selecting a group of subject, and we are just giving a new treatment. Okay, so we are experimenting something. So we take the pre-test of the group, then after we provide a new treatment. Let you want to know the effectiveness of computer assisted instruction, the effectiveness of video tutorial sessions during this pandemic period. Okay, so during this COVID-19 pandemic period, what is the implications and what is the effect, what is the impact of video tutorial sessions, or what is the effect of you can say YouTube video sessions, whether the learning of the students, whether these video programs or the video tutorial sessions are having any effect, any impact upon the achievement of the students or not. So if you are going to conduct such type of study, you can say that is a type of experimental study. Okay, so when you are conducting an experimental study, you are just directing towards future. Okay, means this result, your result may be implemented, may be applicable for future. Means after getting the effectiveness and impact of video tutorial session or the you can say the YouTube video sessions, if it is positive impact, positive effect on the achievement of the students, then others can also use. So that's why this type of study is having a future implication. So that's why we can say that for studying the future, we can conduct the experimental research. Then for historical research, the data that we get, that is qualitative in nature, quantitative in nature, both type of data we can get. And historical research, you see, it aims towards you can say the past occurrences, means which has been already conducted. We are just studying that facts. Okay, let you can say the educational development of India since independence. If you want to do such type of research, then you can go for a historical study. You are just studying the past occurrences. So friends, on the basis of nature of the study, we can have four types of method: philosophical method, survey method, experimental method, and historical method. Then second classification, we can say on the basis of information gathered. Okay, data gathered. So you see, when we conduct research, we get certain data, we get certain information. So what type of information we get? So there is the possibility to get the quantitative data or quantitative information, to get the qualitative information, or to get both type of information, quantitative as well as qualitative. So as a researcher, when you experience or you realize that you will get quantitative type of information or quantitative data, then you can say that your research method is, or the research approach is the quantitative research. Let you are using only the interview schedule, or it is a type of qualitative research. Okay, philosophical types of research. Okay, and mostly historical types of research. Very less scope to get the quantitative data. So you can say that your research is a qualitative research. And many a time that you will find that your research, there is the scope to get both types of data, both types of information. Means you are getting some extent quantitative data or quantitative information, and also you are all getting some extent of qualitative information, qualitative data. So both type of tools you have used. You have used certain test, certain questionnaire. At the same time, you have also used observation as one of the tool, and interview as one of the tool. So you are getting two types of data. You have done the in-depth study. So you can say mixed method is also one type of method. So nowadays we are using the mixed method. We will take different session to discuss about the mixed method research. So friends, on the basis of information gathered or data gathered in your research, you can say that your research can be classified so far as method is concerned, that is quantitative research, qualitative research, and a mixed method research, which includes both quantitative as well as qualitative. Now we will discuss the third classification, that is according to the goal, purpose, and utility of your research. What is the goal of your research? What is the purpose of your research? And what is the utility of your research. So friends, as per the goal, purpose and utility of your research, the methods can be classified as, under first category we can say that is basic, fundamental or theoretical research, and second classification we can say that is applied or experimental research, and the third category we can say that is action research. So now try to understand basic, what is the concept of basic, fundamental and theoretical research. I have developed one YouTube video program on fundamental and action research, but here we'll just touch the concept as already we have discussed. So the concept, the purpose of conducting basic and fundamental research, it is very broad and very vast in nature, and the result of basic research or fundamental research can be generalized. And you can say by doing the basic and fundamental research, we can develop certain theories and principles. Okay, that theories and principles can be used further. And by conducting applied or experimental research, such type of research is narrow in concept, narrow in sense, and the result cannot be generalized. Okay, so that result can be generalized upon that group, but it is sometimes it is difficult to generalize on other group. And the third type of research on the basis of goal, purpose and utility is the action research, which is very specific in nature, very narrow in sense, and such type of research can be used only to solve the specific problem, and it is difficult to generalize such type of research. So that's why that can be implemented only upon that group of the subjects on which the study has been conducted. So friends, today we discuss about different types of method. Just we have discussed the introduction. Okay, the different methods of the study can be classified on the basis of nature of the study, then on the basis of the information gathered, and the third category on the basis of goal, purpose and utility of the study. In our next session, we will discuss the specific method of educational research. Thank you.